Diet Disruptors, Carrie here. And I always love to have a podcast episode when I get to have somebody by my side. And today I am so excited because I have Irene here with me. And so today we're going to talk all about her story, what's been going on, where she is now. And I think it's going to totally inspire you in so many ways. So Irene, welcome to the show. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Is this your very first podcast you've ever done?
This is my second one.
Oh, so you're experienced.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Well, good. So you'll be like it'll be easy. This will be, although I know that people get nervous, but this will be easy for you. So you have a great story to share, and I can't wait for people to hear it. But let's talk about why you even wanted to do this. Why were you like, I want to come share my story?
Yes. So I think it was in June. I was like, I'm so done with diets, and everybody's talking about the shots right now and what they're doing. And I was like, this is the last year I'm going to start a new year saying, I'm going to diet again. January rolls around, I'm going to diet again. No, done. And it has been so refreshing and so rewarding on this journey.
Say more. Well, let's just do this. Are you going to start the new year with a new diet?
No.
Awesome.
No, I will not. I am doing this for life.
Amazing. So talk to us. Tell me, what's why do you feel this is refreshing? Let's talk about all the things you've done and why you got to the point that you did in June where you were like, I'm all done.
So when I came to the point where I was all done, it was, I tried one thing and then I tried the next. And oftentimes when you start a diet, you go in with friends.
Yeah.
And I'd always be the one that loses, I was just like, I won't diet with anybody because I always lose.
I lose like the least amount or whatever it
yes,
is.
with the least amount of weight loss or whatever. And they'd all be excited, and then I'd soon be like, well, I can't keep up with them, so I quit. So I was done. I was over it. I was exhausted. And I had a lot of heart palpitations. And it really concerned me. I'd always go get my heart checked out. Nothing seemed to be wrong. And I'm telling you, eating this way has totally changed how my heart beats. I used to get well, it was probably from my blood sugar dropping, but I get all shaky and to the point where, then I start eating to try and fulfill that shakiness, and nothing helps. So, and I haven't had one of those since I started eating PFC3.
Think about it. I always say blood sugar is the foundation for every single metabolic function in our body. So it's not surprising to me that for you, this was a piece of the puzzle. And you know what I always say too is, okay, after you started eating this way, if you still have these issues, then we can start digging into other things. But until you do this, this could be like the low-hanging fruit that we just don't even realize.
Right. And even just, I go to bed and I sleep and I wake up refreshed and I have energy. I think the biggest surprise for me was on the 4 weeks to wellness is I was addicted to coffee. And yet I always knew coffee didn't really serve me well. Had to have my morning cup of coffee to get me going. So it was really hard, the 4 weeks to wellness, but I came through the 4 weeks of wellness not really even caring for coffee. I can now have a couple sips here and there and enjoy it. Sometimes I'll drink it with my friends, but I don't have to have it every morning.
Well, that's because people that are just watching, they're like, wait, what? We have to give up coffee? And I will say this all day long. I will never tell you what you can or can't have. I will educate you. And for the first 4 weeks, I often really encourage, or I do encourage us to avoid certain things that we know don't necessarily serve our body, but more importantly for something like coffee, because I still have a cup of coffee every day. Black coffee is okay. First of all, a lot of times we put a lot of other things in it and that doesn't necessarily serve our body, but it's often behavioral. And when I say to somebody, what do you think about pulling back on coffee for 4 weeks? Sometimes the visceral reactions I get is just, it's funny. I used to do 6 cups of coffee a day, so I get it. What I explain to people is when something like that you put in your body, food, a drink, has that much power over you, you've got to take control. And part of what I was doing was trying to get energy with my coffee.
Yes, I was too.
It was behavioral. So when I
Mm-hmm.
started analyzing it, you didn't need it for the energy, because eating in the way that we teach gives you more energy. And then the behavioral piece, for 28 days, you can actually just replace it with something else.
Correct.
Eat
And
caffeine if you want to.
yeah, and I had no idea that I could have energy without coffee.
Right.
That was the shocker.
So if you didn't avoid that for a month and you kept it in, which everybody has the choice to do, but at the end of the day, you never would have really known that.
Correct. Correct. And
Now
I think that's what was so
put it
exciting.
back. Do you put it back in now? Do you have your coffee now? Or have you just
No. I have it only sometimes I'm like, oh, I want some coffee. I'll maybe pour half a cup, or if I have a Keurig, so I'll make a full cup.
Yeah.
Usually I only drink half.
But yeah.
And then I'm satisfied maybe for the week. Now if I go out and have dinner with or coffee, coffee with friends, I'll drink coffee, but otherwise I don't.
What's really interesting is coffee can be some of the most acidic stuff we put in our body. And if we can pull back on it a bit, we can get our body to an alkaline state. And that just really helps with a lot of different functions of our body. So you're right. I went from 6 cups a day to 1 cup a day, black, and I love it. Like, it's like the best part of my morning or my whole
Yeah, and it becomes more like a treat. It becomes more like a treat versus, I was up to 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
And so I can actually taste my coffee now.
Yes, exactly. And it's a choice that you make as opposed to feeling like you are controlled by food.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. And
what else?
And that is such a bondage. That's the other freedom that I've been feeling is not being in bondage with food. Eating something that nourishes my body versus going from trying not to eat and then binge eating, and just is just an emotional roller coaster. And my life is very fast paced and busy. So I was about to, probably when I called, and I was probably about to have a breakdown just because of the trying not to eat and then eating and then not knowing where I'm going and not knowing what I'm doing next and then thinking about the next diet. And
and it's like it's your job.
Yes.
What are you doing with all your free time now that you're not looking for diets?
Well, I had to think about you, Carrie. We just started remodeling our house.
Oh, so, you don't know, I just built the house, so yes.
No, we're not building a house, but we're ripping out old flooring, so we're right in with the mess.
It might even be worse because you got to live there.
It's a little crazy right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But let's talk about time, because so much of how many, let's be honest, how many decades do you think you were dieting?
Oh my, from the age of 14, honestly.
And how old are you now?
I remember back to the age of 14 already feeling like I was overwhelmed. I'm not sure what happened back at that time, but that's when the dieting started, like the not eating and then binge eating. And then from there on, I drank this diet pill, and then I probably started spending money on diets probably at the age of 25, 26, somewhere in there. Not every year, but maybe every 3 years I'd try a new diet. And in the last 5 years, I probably tried a new diet every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And come January.
How old are you now? How old are you now?
I am 49, almost 50.
So let's just go do that math, right?
Yeah.
That's, what is that, 25 years?
Yeah, it actually is.
No, it's 35 years.
Hang on. It is 30.
Is that 35 years?
No, 25.
50
25.
Take away, 50 take away 15 approximately. No, that's 35 years.
Is it 35 years? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I can remember is.
Yeah, that makes sense because I graduated from college like 30 years, or high school like 30 years ago. Like, girl, 35 years. This will
and
be
it's bondage.
the first New Year's in 35 years that you have felt confident about what you are doing with your body.
Exactly. And as you were saying that, I was going, it is the first year. I always make a list. New Year's resolution. It will be the first year that I will not put on there, lose weight. It will be the very first year in a long time.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing. And it feels amazing to know that I get to taste my food.
Oh, say
and I
more. What
get
does
to
that mean to
enjoy
you?
it.
What does that mean? Because what was it like before? Like
It
what were
was
you doing?
in it was chaos. It was um I guess to explain it clearly, probably just feeling devalued. It made me feel devalued. And I didn't think I was worthy of it. So that all kept me stuck. And so, with the constant shifting and changing, um, there's so much emotional stuff that goes on when that's happening. And you feel like I think I just got so tired of not living life to the fullest.
You were
And
living.
I am determined every day that I'm going to live life to the fullest.
When you think about what you were doing with the dieting and why you were doing it, because a big part of what we teach is your why. So
Mm-hmm.
really stay focused on what's important. What do you think your why was when you were dieting? When you're really trying all the diet, what were you going for?
It was it was it was to please people. Yeah.
Why did
It
you
was
feel the need to please people?
um I think it I think it kind of started when I went through a divorce of
Mm-hmm.
the pleasing people and just feeling the devalued of not being good enough for someone.
Yeah. And so when you think about you trying to do this for other people's approval,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing it for all these reasons that even if you had lost the weight on the diet, it would never have
Right.
filled that void that you were trying to fill.
Right. And I would always like kind of secretly go into the diet and not tell my friends
Mhm.
because I was afraid of losing out. And then, the fear of them saying she didn't do it again. She didn't lose her weight again. Yet
Fear of
she wanted
failure.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, you spent 35 years dieting. You admit that
Mhm.
really you were doing it for reasons that um, were deeper than the weight on
Right.
the scale, right?
Correct.
So when
Hmm.
you first met us and yeah, how did you find me on the interwebs?
Um, Facebook.
Facebook? Yeah.
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 Hmm.
So when, what made you really feel like, okay, this is different and I need to do this? Like you had one more first date with a nutritional advice or a nutritional approach in you, apparently.
Yes.
Because you were like, I'm done, but you got on a call and you trusted us. Why the heck did you do that?
So I actually, oh, so I did because I was desperate first. And it was actually back in March, I believe, when I bought like the first kit just to do it by myself.
Oh, you
And
just
so I
bought
think
a
by
couple
June or
things.
so,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, by
yeah.
June I thought I'm not successful by myself. And I kept thinking about, I think it was Samantha that I had signed that
Yeah,
kind of
Coach
helped me with
Samantha.
that
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
And so I kept thinking about her. So one day I just shot Samantha text and I said, I cannot forget about you. There was something about our phone call that triggered me. I do believe I need this. And financially, I thought I could not. Financially, I thought it was probably the worst time of my life to be doing this. But there was something in me that I thought I could not just let it go. And so Samantha comes on and she says, you know what? I think about you on a regular basis. And that was just my go. And I'm telling you, when I talk about finances, it was the best money I spent on myself in this past year. It truly was. I do not regret one inch of it. And Beth, my coach, she's
I
just been
love,
amazing.
I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel so blessed to have a team like that that care
Hmm.
so much and want so much for you. We say this all the time, like we're a family and we really mean it. It's so important to us that you feel that love because you are loved, you are valuable. It's so much more than the
Hmm.
weight on the scale. I
Yeah.
always say that confidence does not come because you met your goals. Confidence comes when you know what you're doing is right. And you're on
Yes.
this for a lifetime. This is a journey that you will continue to grow and evolve on.
Correct.
And yet you are confident right now in a way
Yes.
that you probably haven't been in over 30 years.
Right. And the thing of it is with dieting, I just went through this the other day. With dieting, it would always be like, oh goodness, I messed up this week. Well, I'll wait to start till Monday.
Yes.
Here, you're away. I'm only one meal away from eating correct again. So, it's not that, oh, I'll wait till Monday till I start. It's no, you can do it correctly the next meal if you mess up in one meal.
You're eating every 3 hours, and your body actually, because you get this gets better over time, unlike a diet where it gets worse over time, because it gets better over time. If you go off plan, or you don't balance your blood sugar on one of the meals, your body actually can handle it. It's not so tired anymore like it was for so long. In the restriction and the deprivation and then the binging and all of that. And so that's really powerful. But what do you think? So I always say teaching women how to eat is the easy part. It's the thing that I think you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to learn how to eat correctly, or in a way that balances my blood sugar, in a way my body loves, and all of that, right? But what I would say, that's the easy part. The hard part is really getting you understanding more about you and going through the journey of self-discovery. So talk about that. How was that a game changer for you? What was hard about it? What was amazing about it? Tell me about your journey of self-discovery.
Okay. So I remember in my first few phone calls with Beth, I kept like, I didn't want to say it, but I wanted to say, this is impossible. I will never get this, but I kept saying, I will believe that I will get it.
Oh, good for you.
And I did. At 4 weeks, I look back and I'm like, you know what, I can do this. And then, as I worked on my schedules and just every single time, I know how I'm made. I have to do things over and over again to like get a routine down pat and to get all that. The self-discovery was, I can do this, and I am worthy of it. And I have a community that cares about it. The other thing that was so huge is just getting to know that I can feed my body in a way that I feel good. I don't think that I ever pretty much realized that, that I can actually do that on my own. Therefore,
for you is always such a source of contention. Am I right?
Yeah. And the other thing,
you can taste it, you can enjoy it.
Yeah. And the other thing that I discovered is that it's so freeing, is that this is for life. When it's not a quick fix. This is for life. This is the journey.
Not only the approach is for life, but you are part of our family for life.
Yes. Yeah.
And that matters, because you're almost 50, but then you're going to be and 60. And I want us to be with you and for you to be with me. I mean, you guys all help me as much as I help you, because as I get ready for my coaching calls with you, as I learn your stories and think about all of the things that you are all going through, this is all what we need together as a community. And hanging out with like-minded people is so powerful.
Yeah.
So what's coming up for you in 2024? You are now finally free. You have food freedom. You understand more about yourself. You have, I always say, you said yes to yourself. Back you kind of went on this honeymoon for a few months, to learn about you and to dig in. And now you're cultivating this marriage, if you will, between you and yourself. So you're going into your second year of marriage, right? Because you're just part of the first year, into the second half. What's 2024 going to be like for you, because you are no longer in the dieting shackles?
I believe 2024 will be a year that I truly discover myself completely. And as I continue to schedule my days, do my meal plans, I feel like the sky's the limit for me, 2024. There's nothing holding me back anymore. It's not, I think that I so often went back to, I am loved for who I am right now. And I think the best thing that I could have heard in I think it was one of the coach calls where, and I forget her name, but she was talking about it took her 2 years to lose her weight. And that was so helpful for me, is just to say, okay, I can do this. I trust my body needs to get to trust me. That's the other the huge thing that I learned, is that my body has to get to trust me. And so
That's huge.
Yeah.
My puppy agreed with you on that one. That is
Okay.
huge because and Jen's story is really inspiring in so many ways, because Jen is one of our clients who has been consistent and
Mm-hmm.
getting healthier and stronger, and she could feel it, but she
Mm-hmm.
didn't really feel like her clothes were fitting better for a while. And it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
until she let go completely of the ego.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was like, then she said, it's like, the minute I let go, it's like just my clothes were falling off of me.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that. So I feel like you're just letting go now. What
Yeah.
about
And I
your
think that,
friends? What about your friends that you were doing all the diets with?
say that again.
What about your friends that you were doing all the diets with? Do they know what you've been doing?
They do not. A few of my really close friends do know what I've been doing,
I
but
feel like you
they do
gotta
not.
share now this podcast with them. And be
I
like, all
will
right,
have to.
guys, this is
Yes.
what we've been doing.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, good for you. That is so awesome. I
I
feel
think along with that, I just had to see that I could do it.
yes. And I think
Yeah.
that's what so many women feel like, I feel like, what if this doesn't work? What if I
Yeah.
fail? Because I haven't felt successful ever before. And I
Mm-hmm.
would say, but what if you don't? You've never done this before, right? This level
Right.
of support, this level of a philosophy, this level of diving deep. I think being a behavior specialist as well as a nutritionist has just, and then an educator, because I'm all about teaching you. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that combination, just, I know it's not out there, and I know that what we're doing is so different. And I love that you have the experience you have, because I think it speaks to just about every woman out there. And as long as you, for so long, I think you felt alone, knowing that like your friends could go
Yeah.
on diets and they could lose, but they were all going around the same darn mountain and roller coaster that you
Yeah.
were. And I think your story resonates with the majority of women out there, especially those that
Mm-hmm.
are our age.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And you almost, I feel like I went through my story of infertility for so many years, so that
Mm-hmm.
when I came through the other side, I had a responsibility to be able to help others. And I think you went through what you did, so your story is that much more powerful when you come through the other side.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm so excited for you. We're going to
Yeah.
have to check back in with you at this time next year.
Mm-hmm.
Ability to be like, okay, what is Irene doing now that she hasn't been spending all of her time looking for the next diet?
Yeah. I see myself. So exercise is still a little bit of a struggle for me just to get it all done. But I
One
have a
percent a
Bellicon
day, girl.
rebounder. So I love my rebounder. So I'm on
Nice,
there quite a bit and
nice.
I love to go walking. So, even just looking ahead at next year, I see myself thoroughly enjoying it,
Yeah.
growing stronger. Yeah.
And keep
Mm-hmm.
doing progression. And my trainer,
Yes.
Mark Theory, always says it's about progression.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Mm-hmm.
1% progress every day. So imagine where you're going to be at this time next year. And I
Yes.
know that you know so much right now that you could actually teach it to others. And that's what's so powerful, that you know so much that nobody can take that away from you.
Right.
If you're on a program based on some secret sauce that they're not willing to share, or a meal plan that you have to buy from them every month, or products that you have to buy from every month, you're never really learning. And in 35
Right.
years of dieting, you didn't know this stuff.
Right. And as you were saying that, I just got this picture of next year, this time, I'll be looking at the way I eat my food and it'll just be a completely lifestyle. Now I'm still seeing, trying new recipes and all that good stuff. And I love the little cards that you designed because they're so helpful. It's just easy when life gets busy.
Yes.
Um, so I see myself doing that next year and people asking, what are you doing? And
Yes.
even just the peace that I have gotten, that I will no longer search for, any other diet.
Oh, I love it so much. Have you been in the
Yeah.
recipe vault? Have you gotten that far
I
in?
have been in there.
What are some of your
There's a
favorite
few,
recipes?
I've tried the chicken with beet salad
Oh,
that
yeah.
I really love.
Yeah.
Now anything with the holy guacamole, I love. Yeah, but I'm more apt to do like a sweet potato and a meat and just, kind of go fast with fast pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do love the recipe vault.
That's what I love, is that this has never been about me telling you what to do, putting it on top of your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is your lifestyle? Who are you? And how
Mm-hmm.
do we make this work for you?
Yes.
So if certain pieces are like, you adjust and you and your coach make it work for you. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. I mean, I am so proud of you for multiple reasons. The biggest one is for saying yes to yourself when you didn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily believe fully that you would be successful. You just had the faith
Right.
that you would be.
Right.
And faith is really all about trusting in the unseen. And so
Mm-hmm.
and grateful that you put your trust in me and in us. And I'm just thrilled to see what happens. And because you're with
Yeah.
us forever, you don't get to
Yes.
hide. And we get to
Yes.
be on your journey with you together.
Mm-hmm.
So excited. Thank you for being here. For those of you that are listening, that are watching, please comment. Tell us your takeaways from Irene's story. And I love that you are now impacting others. Could you imagine a year ago that you would be doing a podcast about something like this?
I know. No. And even when I started, I was like, yeah, didn't think about it, but I'm so thankful to be here.
Oh my gosh. It's just like compounded growth every
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah.
cool. Irene, thank you so much. We will see you soon. Remember, wherever you are in your journey, there's a place for you at Disruptive Nutrition. If you want to see exactly what Irene did, I put together a new free training. It's about 30 minutes, and you will see every single piece of what Irene is talking about here. So you can go to disruptivenutrition.com/training, go get your free training and check it out. Irene, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.